We finally did it. Multiplayer Gaming Podcast has a Patreon you can join right now. You can now get exclusive access to our Discord server and see behind the scenes as we talk about the games you know and love, as well as uncover those gems you haven't heard of yet. You can have the chance to game with Josh, Paul, and I, and get sweet custom shirts, games, stickers, and more. Just go to multiplayersquad.com to sign up for the Patreon. Hello, welcome to the Multiplayer Gaming Podcast. This is the video game podcast that covers the hard-hitting truths, and we go deep undercover to deliver the facts in our unbiased journalism. But that's not this show. This show is about our bonus round episode. Today we are answering the question that no one asked for. What is the best exclusive Xbox or PlayStation games? Should we include Nintendo? Yes, absolutely. Will we? No. I mean, pretty much all of their games are exclusive, so it seemed like a little weird to include them. So tonight, I have with me two people who are multiplayer podcast exclusives. Can't find them on any other podcast. You got Paul.
You can call me whatever you want, Todd. Just don't call me late for dinner. Hold on, wait a second. We're exclusive to multiplayer podcast. Does this mean I should stop emailing Lady Gaga for her and I to start the Grigio Girls podcast on Wine?
Yes.
Am I not allowed?
I mean, it's in the contract you signed. You said, I will no longer pursue the Grigio Girls.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
Sorry. You should have read your contract.
Yeah.
And the other exclusive, Josh.
I keep trying, but nobody will have me. So I'm exclusive to you guys.
Not by choice.
Man, I'd love for this to be a list of games that tried other platforms, but they just failed. Oh, all right. So this week, this bonus round, we're doing PlayStation and Xbox, kind of almost a little bit head to head. Who has the best exclusive? So at the end of this episode, I want to get to the question, what is the best exclusive? Not like who has better exclusive. What single game, series, whatnot is the best? So, like all of these tournament episodes, let's start with the draft, and then our picks will go head-to-head, March Madness style, to see who wins.
I like it, but I'm glad that you specified like which exclusive is the best, because if we were talking about like which console has the best exclusives, this would be a very short episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
easy.
5 minutes, boom,
Easy.
we're done, go home.
Boom. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yes.
Yep. All right. So I have a win. Josh has a win.
Ooh. How's it feel to be a winner, Todd?
I feel proud to be a winner.
It feels really good. Like once you're a winner, you're always a winner.
I thought you guys were joking, but it actually comes with the chicken dinner.
It does. It's delicious too. Fried chicken,
Paul,
mashed potatoes, gravy.
Have you had a chicken dinner?
No, but I can't eat those mashed potatoes anyway, Josh. I'm on keto, so I don't even need your guys' chicken dinner.
So we chose ahead of time, and Josh is going first.
First, I think this is my first time having the first pick.
Yeah. First round pick.
Okay.
Oh, man.
There's some really good
nervous.
exclusives.
I'm very nervous.
And my first pick may surprise you guys. I know what you're both thinking. You're both thinking Josh is just going to pick God of War, because it's one of the best exclusives out there. But
that's what you should pick. No, you should go with that one.
Because sometimes you have to have strategy in these things. And if I know that like Paul is going to pick something and I take it first, then that hurts Paul.
Yeah, you should hurt Paul.
So I'm going to hurt Todd.
Yeah, we all know which way you're going with this.
No. I'm taking Halo.
Oh.
All right, so you get all of Halo.
I get all the
Xbox
Halos.
exclusives.
Yeah, we're taking the series. Yeah, I mean, if we want to specify a specific game, fine, do so at your own risk. But taking a series is acceptable when it's a console exclusive series like Halo.
My mental anguish I have right now.
I love it because I thought in my mind I was like, they are both going to assume that with the first pick I'm going to take God of War. It would have been a solid first pick, but my strategy is to, number one, take one of the best exclusive franchises of all time and hurt Todd's ability to play this game. So,
jeez,
you get to win on both ends. Yeah, help yourself, hurt someone else.
All right. Well, I believe I'm second. Correct?
Yep, you're up next, Todd. And Halo's off the table. I don't know if you heard, but you can't take Halo.
Well, there goes my first 8 picks.
Todd's whole strategy is thrown off now.
You can take Halo Wars if you want.
Should I? No. You know what? I'm gonna go God of War.
Dang it!
God of War. Okay.
It backfired.
Yeah.
Now, Todd, how many God of War games have you played?
None.
It doesn't matter. That's not what we're gauging. We're not gauging.
So we're all just being punitive. Josh is taking Todd's pick, and Todd's taking me and Josh's pick.
I love that because of my
Josh,
pick.
you want to trade first round picks?
No, I don't. Because I love the fact that because I took Halo, that you tilted so quickly that you were forced into God of War.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
So
sometimes.
Neither of you is going with your heart. You're just going for
okay.
fatality
I
on each
love
other.
Halo. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the Halo
War.
remake or remasters, but the Halo series was incredible, especially during my time in life.
Well, Todd, you just created an enemy.
And you or
his
Josh?
Name is Royale, apparently. Or however,
don't want to anger Royale.
However you introduced me. All right, so we've got Halo and God of War off the table. And then since we do this snake draft style, I get my 2 picks back to back. By the way, I like how you guys give me crap for not winning a draft, and I get to pick last. But, whatever. We'll
picking at the turn is quite powerful.
It can be.
You get 2 solid picks.
Yeah.
All right, so...
And you knew these 2 were going to be off the board by the 3rd pick? That's not a surprise to you, is it?
I guess. But once you went with Halo, I thought God of War might sneak through, which would have been such a steal.
Yeah. We can pick on Todd, but Todd's not dumb. He knows.
I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
Right?
No. Of course not. I mean, that's... Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
We'll talk about it later, Josh.
Some things must be said off air.
Yeah. All right. So as I'm looking at games or series that are exclusives, I'm going to go with what I consider to be the most fun for me with my first pick. I'm going to go with Uncharted. That's a super solid series. All of them are great. I love Tomb Raider / Indiana Jones. You really can't go wrong with Uncharted. So I think I'll go with that with my first overall pick.
It's a solid pick.
Yeah, I feel like that's a hard pick to criticize. And then to start off round 2, coming back the other way, you know what? I'm just going to join in the fun, and I'm going to take one of Todd's favorites.
Do it.
Why?
On the way back.
Do it.
Why?
And I'm going to go with Fable.
Yes! Todd's going to be crippled. He's not going to know what to do.
Give me Fable on a golden platter. It's a great series. I love Fable. I'm already on record saying how much I love Fable. Would I normally take it with the number 4 overall pick? Probably not, but there's no way Fable's coming back to me. So it's not a reach.
What if we just draft all Xbox games?
Just
Todd will have nothing by the 3rd round.
I'm
He'll
gonna
just
draft,
be like,
I'm looking at my list. I'm literally going to end up drafting all PlayStation games, and I'm not buying a PS5.
Yeah, give me Fable. I love all 3 Fable games.
Goodness.
Unlike Todd and his God of War pick, I've actually played all the Fables, so go ahead and give me Fable. I'll take that for my second pick.
It's a solid pick.
All right. I have my second pick. Criticize me all you want. I have owned a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 is when I got like a little iffy, and then I bought a PS4 because, it was cleared that Xbox wasn't the winner of that console war.
Yeah.
This next one, I'm going to go with Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
PlayStation has a long, solid history with very, very, very good Spider-Man games all the way back to PS1. Before Halo, before God of War, before Uncharted, before Fable.
So Todd starts off with 2 PlayStation exclusives. I like it.
What a day.
Who saw this coming, right?
You were such a fan, Todd.
I didn't.
We're throwing some wrenches in here straight off the bat. I like it.
This is my strategy. I played aggressive. You guys took a very defensive stance, and now it's an open field.
The best offense is a good defense.
Now I get 2 picks, right? I'm back to back. All right, I had to wait this long. All right. This one's this one would probably fall to me in the 3rd round, but I got to take it. Final Fantasy. The whole series. Primarily number 7.
What is that?
Final Fantasy? You've never played a Final Fantasy game. Not Final Fantasy 7, the remake, none of the...
I haven't played a beginning fantasy, a middle fantasy, let alone a Final Fantasy.
How many are there? Like 16 Final Fantasies by now? Something like that?
Well, they just announced 16 for the PS5 reveal. They just announced Final Fantasy 16. I mean, let's all be real. Final Fantasy 7 is one of the greatest video games ever made. The remake was quite phenomenal. But I get the whole series, and since they're exclusive to PlayStation throughout the ages of PlayStation, it's really a home run.
Josh, you'd be surprised. I played Final Fantasy X.
That one's terrible.
And hated it.
Yeah, that's because that one's terrible.
But I didn't know that.
I still have Final Fantasy
talking
7
about Final
remake.
Fantasy.
I will lend that to you.
That didn't come out that long ago.
Yeah, it's fairly new. But I mean, Final Fantasy 7 came out way back when.
Yeah.
But the whole series is just, it's iconic, it's beloved.
It's a solid series.
Yeah.
My favorite running joke with our friend Andrew is that the original box of Final Fantasy VII says possibly the greatest game ever made, but like that's on their own printed cover of the game. Like, so they're like the ones saying it. It's not like a quote from Game Informer. They're the ones who called it.
Oh, man.
All right, and Josh, Final Fantasy definitely would have fallen to you in round 3 because it's still your pick.
It's still your turn.
Now, is this my last pick? This is my last one, right?
No, you get one more.
Oh, I get one more
end.
at the very end? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, man, I've got a decent list here, but I'm looking at most of these, and I think most of them would probably make it back to me. But any chance I get to troll Todd, I'm going to troll Todd.
Come on. What else are you
Is it Until
take
Dawn?
from me?
Is it Until Dawn?
No, because I've never played that game, so I can't really argue for it. But I am taking Gears of War.
Todd hates Gears of War.
I know he does, but it's still an Xbox
Gears
game, so it's like, it's one less on...
Take it. It's garbage.
The Gears of War franchise is a phenomenal franchise. There's a reason that they've made 5 of them now.
Having a game with guys so large that they can't jump. Don't care.
Because they're muscle. Okay, Todd, when people are fighting aliens, do you want them to be like all wimpy, like they can jump over a box, or do you want them to be 300 pounds of solid muscle whipping chainsaw machine guns around?
Let's see. Let's look at Halo and Destiny. I want them to be light, airy, and have a needler.
Yeah, and that's why Destiny's a terrible game.
How dare you?
I gotta say, that's pretty good value, Josh. Round 3,
Yeah.
getting Gears of War.
Yeah, that's why.
All right. This, I'm not happy about this.
It's another PlayStation game.
It's another stinking PlayStation game. I think this is my history with PS2. Oh man, I can't say it.
You can't pronounce it?
No.
Do you need some help pronouncing it?
Kind of. Gran Turismo 3. Well, the Gran Turismo series, but
Gran Turismo's a good series, man.
Gran Turismo is my favorite racing series.
Oh, okay.
It's probably mine as well.
It's, I mean, comparable to Forza, but for me, Gran Turismo 3 is the only racing game that I've 100%, which, like, that's a bold statement to say, especially for a game like that large. But I have clear memories of, like, my friends and I going through all of the races, including endurance races that would take 3 to 4 hours, where we would rotate on a controller because it was an endurance race where you had to race 100 laps. And, like, I don't know. It was something about that game where, like, it was the perfect amount of, like, arcadey, like, you can improve your car, you can tune it, you can change the gear ratios so it's a little bit better off the line, you can add additional horsepower, but then it was, like, realistic and a simulator, and it wasn't like an arcade game. It was like a real, like, it felt like a competitive racing game that you could, like, have progression in with buying new and better cars and, like, more advanced cars and, like, cars with over 1,000 horsepower. And then it's like, how do you set a gear ratio for, like, a car with that much? And I don't know. I've never felt that with Forza. I've never felt that with Dirt. I've never felt that with, like, a ton of other racing games.
Let me ask you guys a question. Were you big fans of playing racing games on console? Because I was never a very
Midnight
big fan.
Club. I played the heck out of Midnight Club. It's funny because Gran Turismo 2 I played a lot, but then I got into, like, the arcade racers because I do not like the hyper realistic racers. They just frustrate me to no end.
Yeah.
But give me an arcade racer with, like, nitrous and my car goes flying over a hill and, like, just things are whipping past you, and those are fun.
Which, like, if I could pick Need for Speed Underground, that would be up there on my list because, like, that was an amazing game, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't an exclusive.
Yeah, I think the only driving game I was really into was the game Driver. Did you guys ever play that?
No.
That was the one where you'd get points for, like, running over pedestrians and, like,
Oh, jeez.
blowing stuff up.
There is a weird game where you were a stunt driver.
Yeah.
So what you would do is, like, they would put you in levels and you had to pull off specific stunts, and the better you pulled off the stunt, the more money you would earn, which you could buy stuff with it and then do other scenes that were more advanced.
Was that Burnout? Or am I getting confused with another series? I do know what you're talking about. I played
no
Cruising USA.
Okay,
I was a fan of that in the arcade.
Phenomenal.
But I digress.
That's a phenomenal game.
It was good.
Wow, okay. So lock it in. Gran Turismo for Todd.
Yeah.
All right, and then I get back
3 PlayStation games. Guys,
Another
what have
PlayStation.
you done to me?
Todd's going to have to cry himself to sleep
I
tonight.
can't wait to hear Todd try to explain all these games in the later, once we're into the brackets, and he has to actually make arguments for the.
I can do it. I can do it.
Well, all right. So I get my back-to-back picks to finish this out. I've already got Uncharted and Fable. I'm definitely going to go Metal Gear Solid. Honestly, if I wasn't just messing with
almost
Todd,
went that, Paul.
that would have been my second pick.
Yeah, I almost went that, but I took Gears of War just to take another one away from Todd.
So the fact that that's still around is crazy to me. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, 4, 5, they're all great. So I'll definitely have to take that. There you go, Todd. I'll join you in the PlayStation games. And then with my last pick, it would really be fun to take Until Dawn and deprive Todd, but I'm going to have to go with the far better interactive movie game. You guys know where I'm going with this. I have to go with my heart, Heavy Rain. I'll take that with my last pick.
I knew Heavy Rain was going to make an appearance.
Yeah, PS3. I've played Heavy Rain, honestly, probably 10 to 12 times. Whenever I find someone who hasn't played, I just ask, hey, just come hang out. I want to watch you play Heavy Rain. It's just way too funny. So I'll take that with my last pick.
So I looked it up. The game is just called Stuntman.
Okay. Stuntman.
And it says from the creators of the blockbuster series Driver.
Oh, how funny. So I just like that developer, apparently.
Yeah. All right. So my last pick. I did a lot of research, guys. So I'm going to tell you games that I'm not going to pick, but I really want to. From the Xbox Kinect, Wipeout.
Okay.
What?
Thought that might make the list.
I
Not quite.
had on my short list Dance Central for the Xbox Kinect. That was the best of all the dance games.
Apparently, there's a Fruit Ninja Kinect exclusive.
Oh, I actually remember that
was
one.
fun.
That's one of the few Kinect games I actually remember.
Which was awesome because you pretended like you were a ninja cutting through fruit, and it was amazing. And then another odd exclusive for PlayStation and Xbox, Star Trek Bridge for PlayStation VR.
Okay, sure.
Where you are on the
I've
bridge.
played that game. I have laughed so hard at that game. It's
goofy.
Incredible with friends.
They did bring it to
Oculus.
PC. Yeah, but it's for consoles. It's a exclusive. I'm not going with any of those. I'm going with Kingdom Hearts.
Solid pick.
Never played any of those.
PlayStation game.
So wait, has Todd not picked a single Xbox game?
You guys, you forced me into a box where I picked,
and it's weird that I picked 2 Xbox series.
Yeah, 2 out of your 3 so far.
I still have another solid Xbox and PlayStation game. No, I'm gonna stay with Kingdom Hearts.
It's a great pick. I think people who like Kingdom Hearts really love Kingdom Hearts. So that's a really good last pick.
Yeah.
All right, then back to Josh. You get the last overall pick, buddy. You still got some good ones to pick from.
Oh, I got plenty. But this is the last pick of the draft, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can talk about... so here's some honorable mentions that I was thinking of. Guitar Hero. That was only for the PS2 when it first came out. PS2. Guitar Hero was only available. The original was
only
PS2.
for a few months.
Right. Well, it was still exclusive for PS2. But anyway, Resident Evil.
I owned
That's
a guitar.
good series. But I'm not going any of those. I'm going for another one. This one's dear to my heart. Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I had a feeling you might go that way.
Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
I passed up Gears of War, so I have to go with like this series. You guys know how excited I am for the space combat genre to come back. I really want the vehicular combat genre to come back. And the Twisted Metal series for PlayStation was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'll allow it. And I will say I really wanted to draft The Last of Us, but I know neither of you guys like it. So for people who are listening thinking it's crazy no one mentions The Last of Us, that's the only reason I didn't take it, because I knew you guys aren't going to pick it against any of these other games.
I do have... Yeah, I have Last of Us on my list. I have Until Dawn. Dead Rising never made it to this list.
Dead Rising was also on PlayStation and Xbox, but those are great games. I loved all the Dead Risings. Some of the hardest times I've ever laughed was playing that game.
And then a weird Xbox game, Fusion Frenzy.
Loved Fusion Frenzy.
I've never
It's like Mario Party. Todd might be joking. That's a great party game.
Fusion Frenzy. I have played that.
No. That was a different.
What?
That was a different Fusion Frenzy.
That's the only thing I remember about those games was the announcer just doing that.
That's Fusion Frenzy. This is Fission Frenzy.
Fission, yes.
Yeah, it was exactly like Mario Party, but for the Xbox. And I played a ton of that with my wife and her brothers.
It was a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
But
great game.
Right. Is this part where we get to argue now?
Yep. Cue the intro music.
What's a good bracket intro music?
Just our regular transition music.
Yeah.
Josh, sing the song. I'll put music to it. I promise.
Song about the brackets. Bracket man.
Bracket man.
Bracket man.
Give me those
geez.
brackets, man.
I thought you were going with Rocket Man, but Bracket Man.
Yeah, I like to. It's a fusion. It's a hybrid, if you will.
I got it. All right. Round 1, match 1, Halo versus Kingdom Hearts. I think this is an easy one. This is an easy one.
I want to hear Todd argue against Halo after 53 episodes of this podcast. I want to hear Todd actually argue against. I didn't even realize this is the even better thing is now Todd has to argue against his favorite games.
If we ranked Kingdom Hearts on the leaderboard today, would we rank them over the Halos?
I've never played one.
Statistically, yes, we would.
Todd is correct in that argument.
Kingdom Hearts is a phenomenal game that spans across multiple console generations. It includes charming, lovely characters such as Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Donald Duck, and then the guy who looks like he belongs in a Final Fantasy game.
Sephiroth, because he is in Final Fantasy.
Is the guy really in Final Fantasy?
Yeah, Sephiroth is Final Fantasy. He's the main villain from the Final Fantasy games.
All right. So yeah, it's not only the best game, but it's the best game plus the best of Final Fantasy.
Todd, tell me what tell me why Halo shouldn't be the winner here, Todd. That's what I want to hear.
Halo shouldn't be the winner because reasons. I can't say a bad thing about it.
I don't care if I win now. I just wanted to hear Todd be like, I can't. I'm sorry, right. Halo. I love you.
Have you seen Halo? Final Fantasy games have always been solid. Halo games historically have not always been great. It's a mixed bag.
So you're saying all the Kingdom Hearts games are great?
Yes.
Every single one of them?
Yes.
There's a lot on mobile consoles that you have to play to follow the storyline, which I never did. But I will say Todd was using the best argument, which is that I would rather sit down and play any of the Kingdom Hearts over the super old Halo games. The Kingdom Hearts games hold up much better than Halo.
Which, like, if you're pinning any game versus any game, Halo ODST doesn't hold up.
Well, that game's
Halo
terrible.
4 doesn't hold up. I never played Halo 5.
All right, here's my argument.
Yeah.
I've played Halo. I've never played Kingdom Hearts. Do you know why? Because Halo is much more of an iconic, exclusive series.
We're not going iconic.
Halo is what made the Xbox. Like,
We're
literally,
not going
without
iconic.
Halo, there would be no Xbox. Because it was the one exclusive that they had when they launched. The initial Xbox was...
We already did the most iconic character.
No. I'm not talking about
that
just being
different
iconic.
Episode.
I'm saying that the reason that Halo is a better exclusive was because it is what birthed a generation of consoles. I rest my case.
All right, so obviously you're each voting for yourselves. I take it,
and we're going for best. We're going for best exclusive, not most iconic. And if you apply it to the entire series, I think Kingdom Hearts wins.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, it's definitely Halo. Halo.
Come on,
I will side with Josh here. When the next Halo game comes out, Halo Infinite, I can't wait to play it. Just because the old Halos haven't aged great doesn't mean that I'm not more excited about Halo. I'm far more excited about new Halo games than Kingdom Hearts, although I am a big Kingdom Hearts fan.
I want to know, when I'm for Halo, you guys are against Halo. When I'm against Halo, you guys are for Halo. I'm very confused right now.
Yeah, you should be. We keep you that way.
Yep.
All right. Round 1, match 2, God of War versus Heavy Rain.
Wow, this is a tough one, guys.
Okay,
This is a
Paul,
tough pick.
Detroit Becoming Human, not a fantastic game. I feel like the series just falls short. I'm gonna debate this for you guys.
Well, Detroit Become Human has nothing to do with Heavy Rain. Those are definitely not the same series.
It's the
Wait,
same
it's
publisher.
not all the characters
It's
in
the
the
same
future
publisher.
where they're like androids?
Right. Well, it's the same publisher. I just assumed all of them like Heavy
No.
Rain and
No, just because Quantum Dreams, I think, is the developer. No, they also made Beyond Two Souls, and they made, a goofy game, Indigo, something. No. None of those games are related. They're just by the same publisher. Heavy Rain is a standalone.
Heavy Rain versus all of God of War.
Yes. I only need one.
Todd, you realize I'm the judge on this, right?
No.
You could literally argue against your own pick, and it's
hold
still
on.
probably going to win.
Josh, how many times did you laugh playing God of War?
So there's some humor in there. The talking head, when he's got the head on his hip, and that
Memoroth, I
guy
think was
cracks
his
some.
name.
Yeah, that guy cracks some
Yeah.
good jokes, man.
Maybe this is just me. I legitimately think about Heavy Rain at least once a week. I don't think about God of War nearly that often.
What?
Just you, Paul.
Yes.
You think of Heavy Rain once a week.
You guys know Heavy Rain.
We live in the desert, Todd. He's just fantasizing
Yeah.
about rain in general, and then it's like, oh, wait, heavy rain. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which parts, Paul?
Josh, just end it.
Paul knows what the answer is going to be.
It's the wrong answer, but no, I'm just
There's
kidding.
no way. God of War. Hands
All right.
down. That
God
was
of
just
War.
a mismatch because Heavy Rain is an amazing game. I am a huge fan of that game, but not when you put it up against God of War.
Yeah, and for me, honestly, God of War might have been my number one overall pick if I had number one. So yeah, I can't argue against God of War. And what's great is God of War 3 is so different than God of War on PlayStation 4, and they're all great, even though they're very different.
All right. Round 1, match 3. Uncharted versus Twisted Metal.
Oh, this is like old versus new. Now,
Uncharted
I guess
isn't
Uncharted, but it's
necessarily
not nearly as old
new.
as Twisted Metal. All right. Have you played either of these, Todd? Because you're
You
going
know
to
what
be the
I just
tiebreaker
realized?
here.
None of the Tomb Raider games made it.
No, because Uncharted's so much better. That's why, for me at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to start this argument because I know I've got an uphill battle here.
I'm listening.
I've never played Uncharted. I know that's probably a crime, but I've never played any of them. But that's point number one, is that they haven't been so compelling that I've had to play these games. Number two, Twisted Metal was one of the first games that introduced character-based selections, and they were cars. So that was one of the first games to do that, and that started, we can see where we're at today, is that lots of successful games introduced characters. Overwatch, our number one game on our leaderboard right now, is so great because of the characters. So there's that. The driving was amazing. Todd loves racing games, so this game involved racing and driving and combat.
I'm listening. Keep going. You're doing great.
I feel like I'm doing good by Todd's reactions here, but I don't know if he's just trolling me back now, which, I would heartily deserve. It was so popular that it was an entire series. Now, some of them were not as great as some others, but these games were awesome, man. Everything you could want. Combat, racing, character selection, special abilities, fun with your friends, phenomenal multiplayer, a great campaign. What more is there to want?
Yeah. Paul, he has multiplayer.
Sure.
This is the multiplayer podcast.
Right, but we did not say the best multiplayer exclusive. All right, so this is pretty easy. Uncharted, Todd, it's got jump puzzles, and 2, they're making an Uncharted movie that's going to have Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. Come on.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Who's
I could
cooler
make
than
a
Tom
Twisted
Holland?
Metal movie? What does that have to do with anything?
It just
That's
shows
a
how
lame
popular.
argument.
People love it so much, they say, give me more and give me a movie.
And before you try to sway Todd, you can jump in Twisted Metal.
Oh, wow.
Yes, your cars could jump off of buildings and all kinds of stuff.
But are they jump puzzles?
Some of them were. Some of them you had to actually find a way up to a top of like a building and then leap off the building to get to some secret areas and stuff.
All right. So I'm just going to think to myself, what game just came out more recent, really?
The last Twisted Metal came out how long ago?
That's terrible.
27 years ago?
It's been a long time. The problem with PlayStation is they don't do backward compatible anymore. So like if I even wanted to play a Twisted Metal game, how would I? They haven't remastered
In your dreams, Todd. In your dreams. That's where you play Twisted Metal nowadays.
You know what, Paul? That's a fair argument.
There's not a day that goes by where I don't think to myself, Twisted Metal.
Every week, I think Twisted Metal.
If you guys don't think about Heavy Rain every week, then you're missing out.
My missing son.
Guys, if you don't like playing games about dead children and serial killers, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, man, I think about serial killers once a week at least. I'm going Uncharted. Sorry, Josh.
Thank you.
I don't even know if that's the right pick because I've never played these games.
I still can't comprehend owning a PS4 and not playing Uncharted 4. It's
weird.
So much
any
fun.
of the Uncharted.
Do you know how many games I've played on my PS4?
3.
3 games. That's exactly
Red Dead.
right.
Let's guess. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah. God of War.
God of War.
Yeah.
And
Rocket League.
Nope.
Boy.
I don't know the third.
Yeah, what else?
It was
GTA.
one of my choices.
Grand Theft Auto.
Nope.
Final Fantasy VII.
Final
the remastered.
Fantasy VII remake. Yep.
Wow, how funny.
I own a PS4 for 3 games.
Jeez. And that's why you should buy an Xbox.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
All right, guys. Round 1, match 4, Fable versus Gran Turismo.
Ooh.
That's a weird matchup.
I will say this, as the judge of this round, I do not have a winner in mind on this one. So this is all going to come down to the argument.
All right. Who has an older, more games and more recent games? There's been a major release of Gran Turismo for every new generation of PlayStation. Has there been a new Fable for every generation of Xbox? No. You know why? Because it didn't sell enough games because people didn't care about it. You know what they did care about? Fast cars, great graphics, great progression system, fast cars. Science.
Science. I will say, according to Wikipedia, Fable released a game on Xbox One in 2018. It might be a free-to-play digital collectible card game, but it's there.
Oh, boo.
All right, so look, here's the thing with Fable. Fable actually brought something new to the gaming industry. I'm not sure Gran Turismo really did that. Gran Turismo's fine, but honestly for me, I don't care if it's Dirt, Need for Speed, WRC. To me, all of those games, for the most part, are 98% the same. There's not a whole lot different between them. Fable brought in the whole idea of moral choices in a way that you didn't really see before. When you would do something evil, you would grow horns. You had all of these moral choices while playing the games. I feel like Fable definitely stood out more. Even the music really stands out as I think back on Fable. I feel like it was much more iconic.
No. All right. Gran Turismo laid the groundwork for being the most advanced graphics for every single game that they've released. They've always been in the forefront of realistic graphics. In the last game, they added VR so you can look like around your car as you're driving. So if like you're trying to see around a corner, guess what? You just turn your head.
One question, Josh. When the new Fable game comes out, and when the new Gran Turismo game comes out, which one are you more likely to play?
That was really the question that I was asking myself to help me decide this, because you both made pretty good arguments. And I remember building that 1,000 horsepower car in Gran Turismo that went so fast that it couldn't turn a corner, and then just cracking up at that. But then I also remember playing Fable and then having my guy be so evil that horns sprouted out of his head and children would cower in the streets. But for me, the tiebreaker is I would have much more interest in playing a new Fable than I would a new Gran Turismo. And for that reason, I'm going Fable.
Shenanigans.
It's not. It really is true. I'm excited about the new Fable coming out, but if a new Gran Turismo came out, I wouldn't play it.
Is there any racing game that you would play?
Midnight Club. That's a great game. That was one of my favorite racing games.
You would rather play Midnight Club over Fable?
No, over Gran Turismo.
Well, exactly. So it's just you don't like racing games. So not that Gran Turismo isn't a better exclusive.
I played Wreckfest. Have you guys played Wreckfest? Because that's a fairly recent racing game that's quite fun that I actually bought.
I'm just saying the judges are biased. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
How dare you?
How dare you
question my integrity, Todd?
No, it's fine if you guys don't like racing games. Just try and be unbiased about it.
Yeah, I stand by all my comments. Fable brought more to the industry than Gran Turismo. If Gran Turismo never existed, I'm not sure the industry would look any different.
All right. Round 1, match 5.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man versus Gears of War.
Ooh.
Okay. Honestly,
it's a good matchup.
It's a solid matchup. Which game has been around longer? Which game? No. Spider-Man.
Dude,
Spider-Man was on PS1.
Was the Spider...
Xbox wasn't around when Spider-Man was around.
Is it any good, though? I don't seem to remember much talk of the original Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was a fantastic PS1 game.
Never played it.
You had different abilities. You could pick up spiderweb. You could bind people to the wall. You could pull down walls.
Can you cut people in half with chainsaw guns?
If I remember correctly.
Just saying, I think the answer is no.
That's one mechanic. Okay. You can't define.
Not really. Gears of War defined and started the cover-based shooter mechanics. Now, I know you're not a fan of that, Todd, but Gears of War was the first game to really bring that to a head. I don't know that there was a game that came out before that.
There was. There's a lot of games that came out.
Cover-based shooters?
No, you just said there wasn't a game that came out before that.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Oh.
It was the first game ever made.
I was not aware of one, but
I mean, sure, Gears of War is another first-person shooter. They have a chainsaw. They added a lot of yeah, okay. They added a lot of blood, it made a splash, but when it comes down to it, people are still wanting to play Spider-Man in video games. There is just this big hoopla about Spider-Man only being on the PlayStation for the Avenger video games. Do you know why? Because all the PlayStation Spider-Man games laid the groundwork for people wanting to play Spider-Man. Spider-Man has been an iconic superhero, and all of the games have been amazing and groundbreaking for their time. Has Gears of War ever been groundbreaking outside of maybe Gears of War 1? No. They're just revisions on the same old game. They've been making 5 editions of Gears of War, and it's boring at this point.
All right, so I'll counter your point. Spider-Man by himself is cool as anything, but they're capitalizing on the character, not the game. And so we are in the realm of Marvel movies right now. They're extremely popular. They have been for the last, 5-6 years. So that popularity is recency bias, whereas Gears of War was a brand new IP. They created their own world. They created cover-based shooting mechanics. I mean, great sound, great storylines for a shooter. The storylines in Gears of War was great.
All right. I'm gonna stop you right here. I'm gonna destroy this argument. Sony made $229 million off of. Oh no, that's not right. All right,
off of the movie.
Yeah, no. Off of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
off of a comic book
movie.
character. Like, that's exactly my point.
No, you guys were wrong. Spider-Man sold 3.3 million games the first 3 days after it was released in 2018.
That's just because they're capitalizing on the Spider-Man
Gears
hype.
of War is... No. That's more than hype. That is groundwork of great Spider-Man games.
I'm just going to rest my case because I've said everything that needs to be said.
If there was several bad Spider-Man games, no one would buy the next bad Spider-Man game. How many units did Gears of War sell? 2 million, which is almost less than half than Spider-Man.
All right, well, we're out of time, so we'll see you guys next week. Wow, this was a long matchup. All right, so here's the thing. I think this is a very close matchup. I really do love both of these series. I'm on record saying that there are few things as fun as swinging around as Spider-Man. For me, it's a very slight edge. I'm going to give it to Gears of War. I know Spider-Man has sold more. It has nothing against Spider-Man. I think...
This is ridiculous. Spider-Man has historically sold more every release than Gears of War.
Yeah,
but we're not.
But that doesn't mean it's better.
Best selling though. We're talking about console exclusives.
This is my fault because I chose Gran Turismo and you guys don't like racing games, and I chose Spider-Man and you guys would rather play shooters.
I love me some Spider-Man. I'm a comic book fan.
I do too.
I'm
I
a
love
Marvel
Spider-Man.
fan.
Ridiculous.
But this is just they're poaching the name. The game is, like I said, if they did not create this game from scratch.
It's an exclusive, best exclusive, not best like intellectual property that you invented.
Paul has spoken.
It's
Todd.
best exclusive.
Paul
People
has
are
made his decision.
furious about it not being on Xbox for Avengers. It's like still current. No one's upset that Gears of War isn't on PlayStation. People are upset that they can't get Spider-Man on Xbox.
Yeah, it was a very, very close race in my mind. But
you know what game I've never played?
Slightest
Spider-Man.
edge on
you know what
Gears
games I
of War.
have played? Gears of War.
Well, just because you're bad at video games doesn't mean... All right. Final Fantasy. All right, sorry. Round 1. All right, I need to shake it off. It's fine. I'm not upset.
Let go of the tilt, Todd.
I'm not upset. Round 1. I don't know. Match 6. I don't care about this. Done with this.
If Todd could flip the table right now, he would. He'd just be like...
I walked around and just started flipping coffee tables at my house. Final Fantasy versus Metal Gear Solid. I don't care. You guys solve it between you two.
Oh, Todd's like, I don't play either one of these games.
Two heavy hitters for old school PlayStation.
This is hard to pit these against each other. They're so different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to go first? You want me to go first?
I don't know how to argue against Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know how to argue against either of these. My argument for Metal Gear would be that they were the first series that brought long movie quality cutscenes into games. You got invested in story in a way you didn't in previous games. And that was revolutionary to gaming. The Metal Gear Solid games that still come out are great. The Phantom Pain was a phenomenal game. I loved playing it. That being said, I mean, I love Final Fantasy also. I haven't played a whole lot of them, to be honest. I've probably only played 3 of them. But Final Fantasy VII in particular is iconic. I feel like Metal Gear Solid, you very specifically know and remember, especially in my mind, numbers 2 and 3. 4 is when he's a little bit older. And then, of course, 5 with Phantom Pain. I feel like there's more iconic individual games for Metal Gear Solid, but they're both great series.
Yeah, this one's tough. I mean, I have not played all of the Final Fantasy games, but I have not played a Metal Gear Solid game since the first one. Actually, maybe the second one. I have not played 3, 4, and 5, and I hear 5 is great, and I think I can pick that up for like $5 nowadays, too. That being said, PlayStation 5, did they announce a new Metal Gear Solid game? No, they did not. Did they announce a new Final Fantasy game? Yes, they did. So even PlayStation has embraced. I see you two typing to each other. I see what's going on over here. That's shenanigans. There is behind the scenes coach talk going on right here.
I typed in Kingdom Hearts. Get out of here.
I call shenanigans. Bribing the judge.
You're fine. You're fine. Keep
anyway,
on going. You're doing
even
great.
PlayStation has embraced Final Fantasy where they have not embraced Metal Gear. So that should tell you something right there. There will have been 16 Final Fantasy games, not counting Final Fantasy Online, which is still insanely popular.
Does that have anything to do, though, with like Kojima productions being made and Hideo Kojima?
Maybe,
I don't know what he has rights to and all that.
They could throw
I'm not
enough
sure.
money at that guy to have him make a new Metal Gear Solid game if they wanted to, but they don't. They're going, you know what? Final Fantasy is our flagship series. This is our exclusive role-playing game series. We're sticking with it. Every PlayStation that comes out embraces the Final Fantasy series.
You know what? You guys phrased it in this way, and like, I'm sorry if it hurts, but if both of these games came out tomorrow, which game would I play? It's Metal Gear Solid.
Okay. I feel like that's a fair tiebreaker. It's tough to choose between the two, but I'll accept the result.
You guys did this for both of my last round picks, and that's how you decided.
I thought Todd was just going to be like, I ain't picking either one.
Yeah, I picked Kingdom Hearts.
I did type in Spider-Man Turismo at first, hoping Todd would see it. And
I honestly, I hate to be tilted, but I feel gypped on both of those.
Stuff.
I really,
it's just the luck
really
of the draw
do.
of the bracket sometimes.
Spider-Man is a better game than Gears of War.
I think that's personal preference.
Yeah.
You just hate cover mechanics.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
and
Spider-Man,
you can swing and jump as Spider-Man. So Todd's like, I can jump as high as I want in Spider-Man, and I can't jump at all in Gears of War.
All right.
Man, next bracket, we're going to go highest jumping character, I swear. All right. We're finally at round 2. Man, match one. Halo versus Gears of War.
What a cool matchup right there.
I can't be against myself.
What a fun matchup. Well, you are.
How can I be against? Who did these brackets?
No, it's because you
beat
upset
Spider-Man.
Todd when you upset the bracket.
So I just get to pick which one I want to advance?
No.
What am I going to do? Argue
we
against
vote as
myself?
a group.
Okay, Josh.
It's Halo.
Okay, Josh, number 1. I think Halo's the best because it defined. It was the first game that really came out and it had the music. And then, but okay, Josh, 2. Gears of War, man. You had that machine gun with the chainsaw on the end, and you could just run up and and then that was really cool.
This.
And then the guys were like 300 pounds, and you could hear them stomping. Tok, 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 tok.
Hey, Josh, are you done?
Yeah.
To quote one of Todd's favorite questions.
I'm sold both.
What?
Todd, this is an easy pick, right? Are we both voting for Halo?
Yeah, I'm voting for Halo.
Yeah, that's what I would pick too. I just really wanted to kind of do that Josh 1, Josh 2 thing. I've been wanting to do that for a while now on the podcast, and I figured this was my first chance. So
you're
been talking to myself for a while.
Yeah.
Love to do it on the podcast, guys. All right, man. God of War, or round 2, match 2. God of War versus Fable. Guys, do I need to do an argument? Or it's God of War.
No, it's God of War. I'll vote for God of War. I'm impartial.
It's God of War.
I will literally flip every table in my house. All right. Round 2, match 3, Uncharted versus Metal Gear Solid. Paul, are these both yours?
Yeah, they're both mine.
I'm feeling Uncharted.
Do Paul 1, Paul 2.
Yeah, talk to yourself. In like a manic
Paul,
way.
Well, Uncharted has more games that are newer. Metal Gear Solid games kind of probably peaked quite some time ago, so I think that's an argument that you could make there. But I think Metal Gear Solid was far more revolutionary in its day. I would personally vote for Uncharted myself.
Josh?
I don't know. I've not played any of these series in quite some time. I mean, I played Metal Gear, the original, back in the day. So, like, I'm a little bit more familiar with that, but I hear amazing things.
I know that Uncharted is not going to have any chance in the final round, but for me, when I think of just pure gaming fun, the first thing I think of is Uncharted. It's a perfect series.
The first game you think of is Uncharted?
For fun, yeah. Absolutely.
Man.
Out of these two series.
Halo campaign?
Yeah, way more fun than Halo campaign.
Yeah, Uncharted.
All right. So then there were 3.
That was a quick round 2.
Yeah, all the heavy lifting was done early where we made our major cases, so there's only so much to say at this point.
All right. We each have one. I'm proud of us, guys.
Really?
Halo versus God of War versus Uncharted.
Are you a little less tilted now, Todd, now that you're back in the running?
I'm glad I'm just glad to be here.
How do we solve this again? Because we're all just going to vote for each other.
Okay,
are we?
so-
I don't know.
so
Maybe
Match
not.
up all 3 against each other and do a rapid fire vote.
All right, Halo or God of War, Josh?
I have
Josh.
to go. I have to go God of War.
Paul, Halo, God of War.
God of War. Which is funny because Todd's probably going to say Halo, even though it's not his.
I know.
But God of
Look at
War
you guys,
is going
I'm
to win
going
anyway.
with Halo. I'm honestly going with Halo.
Yeah.
It is a better exclusive. It really, really is. Even though I didn't pick that. So if we go Halo versus God of War's winning. If we're going Halo versus Uncharted for second place, Halo is winning. Sorry, Paul.
All right.
And then God of War versus Uncharted, God of War's winning.
Yeah, God of War is winning for sure.
God of War. Guys, second win.
Now, I could have taken God of War.
You guys took Fable from me. You guys try to upset me with Halo by taking that from me. You guys tried to like mess with my mind by making me choose all PlayStation games.
I just love the fact that we got
guess
Todd
what?
so tilted right in the middle of this episode.
Okay,
And now
then
he's
he
all
won
happy
anyway.
because he won.
I'm still like I love Fable. Gran Turismo is a fantastic racing game.
Argue the Spider-Man one. You've got a better
shoulders.
odds of winning that argument.
Okay, let me try that again. Man, I love Gears of War, but Spider-Man is such a fantastic video game.
There you go.
I don't know.
God of War is
happy
so
to
good.
be here.
And I'll tell you,
happy to be a winner, but not happy how I got here. How about that? Is that fair?
That's fair. That's fair. Josh, would you say God of War on PS4 is a top 3 or a top 5 game of all time for you?
Yeah. Oh, I love that
it's
game
that good.
so much, dude.
Yeah.
I borrowed a PS4 to play it, and then I had to give it back because the guy that I borrowed it from was like, "Hey, are you done with my PS4? I actually want to play God of War again." And I felt like I was like, you know, I not rushed because he was cool about it, but it was like I felt rushed to like hurry up and beat it and give it back to him. And part of me like really wants to just pick it up and play through it again, and that's rare for me because I do not play mini games twice. But God of War, I could certainly do that with.
I mean, it's no Heavy Rain, but it's still very good. And you'll be able to play it on PS5. It'll be included with PS Plus.
They announced God of War Ragnarok, and there was, of course, no footage or anything, but that was just, oof. I will buy a PS5 when that game is about to be released in 2022. Because it ain't coming out any sooner.
Yeah.
They say 2021, but it ain't going to happen.
All right. Well, that is our show for this week. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not subscribed, make sure to go into your podcasting app and subscribe to get fresh content twice a week. Next week, we are talking about Payday 2, which is like, I'm having fun with it, guys. I don't know about you guys, but it's definitely a fun game. If you join our Patreon, you can come on our Discord and play with us. So get some live Payday 2 action in there. You can find us on our website at multiplayerpodcast.com, Patreon, Multiplayer Squad, and all of our social media is Multiplayer Pod. See you guys Thursday.
I would like to say that my trolling backfired, and I lost.
It backfired hard.
Because you guys know I love me some Gears of War, but I thought that taking Halo from you would be... I mean, it was really great, but then I lost, so it's not so great now.
Well, you are in a win-win situation. Although, who knew Todd was so passionate about Gran Turismo? I never would have guessed.
Really?
I've never heard you talk about it.
I hadn't either.
Todd's greatest loves: Bonnie, Gran Turismo, and then his children.
Yep, in that order.